Stream and software connected. There we go. Okay, that is working now. Mic check 1, mic check 2. Mic check 1, mic check 2. Mic check 3, mic check 4. Mic check 1, mic check 2. Mic check 3, mic check 4. Okay, seems to be fine. Well, since this is take 2, send it. Hello world! Welcome to my first ever live stream of the development of this little engine that can. This is what I call a little MMO mud game engine, which is capable of supporting networked communications, as in it's able to actually like talk client to server, as you can see here, where we have the client talking to the server. This is obviously going to be the client, and then this is going to be the log that shows the server and the client communication logs. So essentially what this is it's just a server at this point. It's just a lobby basically that you can log into, and then you have this little command line which you can do things with. We'll go into that in a minute. And then you also have this little program here, call them a program, which shows you a few things. These are the different, I guess you could call them systems. Yeah, no, they're basically systems where you'll be able to go, and then in these systems there will be little rooms where you can go into the rooms and do things in those rooms. all while being online with people around and able to do things with friends. Um, so yeah, let's check out what we've got here. Right here, this is it. This shows you the system name, the description of the system, and what systems it connects to. So if I click here, it'll take me to Whisperwind. It'll take me back to Kaleen's Breach. Go to Whisperwind again. I can go back to the Void's Maw, so on and so forth. You'll start in Cygnus Prime, you can move to Helios Beta, so on and so forth. So if I go into the command line right now and type where am I, or where, you can see that I'm in the Void's Maw. So if I go to the Void's Maw, you can remember that that connects to Whisperwind. And now if I go in here and type jump Whisperwind, it will take me to Whisperwind. All this time the server's in the background actually doing the things. You'll see that it says send in command ACK to player 1. This bit's a little bit deeper than what we're gonna go over right now at least, but this is just the Lua side of it complaining that the C++ side doesn't have a handler for this command. That's unimportant right now, but the important parts are that you see the server takes in the command, sends back the acknowledgement, and then the client handles that. So, from there, what you're going to be able to do is instead of just jump into systems, what I want to start adding into it is the ability to do more things, like for example, jump or warp to asteroid belt 1, for example. And you'll be able to warp to the asteroid belt, and then if you're in the asteroid belt, you can say target large asteroid whatever, and then it will target the large asteroid, and then you'd be able to say, for example, activate mine-in laser 1, for example. Now, as you can see at this time, all of these commands are getting ignored. That's the fact that they don't have the Lua command handlers. Like I said, that's going to be a little bit later. I want to introduce you all to the code base before I actually start going into modifying it. That way there's at least a video of me showing how the backend works and everything before I start just modifying things on stream, because it'll be fine jumping around on stream and modifying things in different places, but this live stream itself is going to be more of a since obviously no one's here, it's more of an introduction to the project. So I want to do that, and then I want to actually start modifying the thing on stream as well. So a few other things that I want to note right now is that there is actually inside of it, there is real logout, so you can just log out and then log back in. And I am handling passwords and things securely. Everything is actually running under an SSL tunnel, so there's a layer of security on top of all of the communications. It's entirely server authoritative, so all of the data that the client will have will be sent to the client by the server, so there's not going to be any ways to really manipulate that data and cheat in that way. Obviously, there's still going to be some ways that people can find to fuck with things. I mean, my bad, mess with things. But other than that, it's a relatively robust little system. The initial project was for a real-time strategy game, and that required a server authoritative structure. And so when I decided I wanted to go build this engine for a multi MMO, or a MUD at least, bare minimum a MUD, multi MMO at best, I figured I could rip all that out and or rip out all of the RTS elements and then structure it as just a generic base with networking and server-side authority and all that. And then I built up what you see here with that. So yeah. I don't think there's much more to say about this right now, about the actual client and server itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit the client. Shut down this server. I'm gonna hop over into the desktop really quick and then open the Explorer here so you can kind of see what's going on. So this is where everything gets built into. The fact that it's called Line Commander is a remnant little artifact of the past. If you were wondering about the security of it, these are the keys. It will not run without these, so that it is in fact secured. This is a remnant that can actually go away now that I'm looking at it. Let's go into our vendors here for now. We're using Google's Proto Buff to do. Oh no, we're not actually. No, that's a remnant that can go away. We're using IMGUI, which is the library that I use for the interface that you saw basically everywhere there. There's obviously going to be Lua. We have the Lua for the server-side scripting, SDL3 for the client-side rendering and everything. Sol, which is a Lua binding. We're using SQLite for the database. UPB is I believe we're not using UPB. We should be able to get rid of that. Yeah, no, we can get rid of UPB as well, I believe. Well, let's get rid of it and test. Okay, so we got rid of the levels directory because we don't actually need the levels directory, so we need to remove it from the copy. There we go. Okay, yeah, nope, build's fine just without it. We can go ahead and run a make clean and another make J4. The -J just tells it how many jobs to do at once, so using -J makes things compile a lot quicker than if I were to not use -J. It's how many threads essentially. So it appears to be building just fine without UPB. May be necessary. I don't remember exactly why it was in there. This is a good time for me to go through and clean up the file base as well. Yeah, no, built just fine, compiled just fine, everything's fine, don't have to worry about it. Hop back into the desktop really quick and check out the build directory. Ultimately, for the client, this would be all that I need to send, well, along with that file. So I could technically copy this and move it into a new directory. Put it down there. Go ahead and launch that. And there we go. Running in, well, it doesn't show anywhere here very well. But yeah, so that's it running there. So that's all you actually have to send to the client. The assets directory is relatively small. A lot of these are actually artifacts from the past. So I could even go in as far as to delete a lot of these right now. I could get rid of that, I can get rid of that, I can get rid of that, I can get rid of that, that, and that. And then in theory, we can run the test again. And everything should launch just fine, and it does. So yeah, it's a relatively nice little system that I've got going on here. I've obviously been working on it for a while. Some of these dates go back as early as the 31st. But that's just for that. If I go over here into this one, some of these dates go back to the 11th, and again, that's just for that copy. If I go back to here into CYG win, these dates go back all the way to June. And that's around when I started this project, was around June, so that would make sense. So that's going to be the earliest instance of it. I guess I can show that while I'm here. Yeah, it still works. So I just need to copy from here to here to that. Okay, never mind. Line commander .exe-server. There we go. So the line commander server is started, and then if I hop into here, there's the client, and then I can start, I can ready, and if I select 04, move 15.4. So this is a relatively robust little thing in of itself. It uses A star with chess-like pathfinding. This is a fun one. I'll have to get back to this at some point, but for now the main project is the MMO mod. So yeah, this is where it all started from. A lot of the code was repurposed into this into the MMO mod. So let's get back to it. If I go ahead and make test, we're going to log in and we're going to just see what we want to, or see what I think needs to be added right now. So what we have is this little command line. This command line is the crux of the entire game. This will be where a lot of the stuff happens. Obviously, I mean, obviously there will be interactability in other places, in other user interfaces, but of course this will be the main one. So, I think what I need to do, or what I don't not need to do, but what I should do is, I think that a list of players right here would be beneficial. That's one thing that I can do. That's one thing I can add. The other thing that I can add the, let's just say, we're going to need, before we can start adding the rooms where we can actually do things in, we're going to need a structure to be able to hold those rooms. Because right now what we have is we have this system map structure, which is all of these. And I can show you how the system map structure works really quick by coming into here. So the system map structure works like this. You have the system name, and then you have a list of connections that the system has. So a simple way to be able to add rooms into this structure would just be to do this, I guess. Now, the admin is in Void's Maw, so we'll take that and we'll put that there. So that will work. That will work very easily. And then what we'll need is we'll need a name called rooms. Actually, we'll not call it rooms. We'll call it sites. I am taking a little bit of inspiration from EVE Online here. I wouldn't call it stealing anything. I've not stolen anything from EVE Online. The idea of a map of star systems isn't that complex, but the terminology really makes sense when you think about it from the EVE perspective or the space perspective in general. You've got systems, and then you've got sites or areas within those systems, and then you've got structures within those. So we're just going to kind of take the same idea from our systems here. We'll have a description equals a string, a test site. We'll add activities, and that will be a list. And for now, the activity available will be test. So we have one site with a description and activities, and then that site is attached to the Void's Maw. And so now what we'll need to do is in the network message type for the system map, which should be somewhere around here. A lot of these structures are artifacts, of course. Like I said before, there's a lot of artifacts from the previous implementation here. Here we go. So system information under core, which I believe I put in here. No, it's in lobby types. And then we'll have to add a std vector of yeah, I think in the system information we're just going to send the connection or the site name. So we'll add an std vector of sites, and then we will add it into the serialization. So this is just a vector list basically, which holds the string names that we have here in the Lua. The next thing that we'll need to update is the function connection map, or the function send message to player, which this is a Lua call which calls to the server backend, C++ backend, and so it's called send message to player. We'll take this function name, we'll put it there, and then connection map. Okay, so this is the client side handling of it. Um, no, this is the server side. No, it is the server side. I thought this was the client side. Derp. Okay, so what we have to do is we're basically just going to grab this block of code here and get rid of that, and we're going to rename this to sites. This will become sites table. This will become sites table. This will become sites table. Site in sites table. Neighbor key value pair site KVP. Iterate over the side. Nope. Alright, we can get rid of the AI generated comment. Site KVP current system connections sites. Site KVP as string. So that should pass the list of sites to the player as well. We'll go ahead and make test. Now that's just the server side change. I'm gonna check my audio really quick. Okay, so apparently the music isn't audible. I don't know why. I'm gonna go ahead and test it again in a second here. Current system connections. My. Why is the what? I don't get it. Why is the audio? Okay, so apparently the music isn't audible. I don't know why. I'm gonna go ahead and test it again in a second here. Okay, that seems to have worked just fine then. I guess it was just too quiet for, I guess it was just too quiet. Weird. Really weird. Okay, that seems to have worked just fine then. I guess it was just too quiet for, I guess it was just too quiet. Weird. Really weird. Well, I've just been streaming with no music for a while there. That's not bad, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. I really hope that nobody comes into the stream during that 5 minutes. Alrighty. We're back. So, in the time that I was away, I compiled it, and it compiled successfully, so that means that our changes at bare minimum worked. Well, didn't make it not compile. So we're gonna run it again really quick. I'll go ahead and log in. And the server crashed. Okay, so the changes obviously didn't work in that case. Let's find out why. That would be a thing. I doubt that that'll fix it. But that's definitely an oversight right there. So, oh yeah, can't do that while the client's still running. Log in. Okay, there we go. Yep, nope, that was it. Logged in just fine, received map data with 6 systems. Opening it though, opening the map for some reason caused it to crash. That's interesting, because that's actually really interesting. That shouldn't have caused it to crash, I wouldn't think. That's going to be in the UI management. Under Alright, we can minimize a bunch of these functions. Just minimize all this crap. Alright, here we go. So, system data dot connections empty. Are we current systems dot sites pushback site KVP second? So system object table. Okay, let's check the. Oh, you know, I know why. We want the client handler, received payload, system size, this connection map, received payload systems, map data payload. Map data payload would be AR systems, system information. I believe the issue is because my build system messed up. So essentially the changes that I made here and here were entirely I'm not going to delete those yet because that's probably going to break something else. Entirely based in the header files. And I don't think that it updated the header files properly when it actually... Oh god, I hate this. I have to change this every time. Properties. Otherwise find title of same executable. There we go. And so now, yeah, with the recompile it works. So the changes are there. Now we just need to actually render them in the in the actual map. Here we go. So if system data connections empty, we're basically going to duplicate this underneath it. Sites available. Actually, we'll put it above it. What do we do here? Oh, I see what I did. I screwed up, yeah. Undo, 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 undo. Duplicate. This one up on top will be sites, system data, sites, empty, no sites found. We'll rename this to site name, system data, sites. I am GUI, push ID, that, site, selected site. Actually, this is the logic to change. This is the logic to change room, or to change the site selection, or the system selection, my bad, in the connections. So this doesn't actually need to be. We're not gonna do anything here yet, I think. And that should be enough. That should be more than enough. Well, I mean, that should be not more than enough. System data, sites. This doesn't need to be. We're gonna continue with it as it is right now, but we'll fix it at some point. That doesn't need to be, that doesn't need to exist. We already have a structure for that. The system display data up here. We have an entire structure for that. We don't need that. info.sites for const auto unique names set, unique names set, unique names set. Okay, I see what that's doing. That is basically that's just creating a list of unique names, obviously. I'm a great programmer, I swear. I'm just kidding. I didn't actually write this. This was mostly AI generated right here. Like I said in the intro, I did do a lot of my own modifications. I've been working on this for a very long time, so it's not just AI vibe coding, as you can see by the fact that I'm not even touching the AIs at this point. We do need to... I think that's all we needed to add there. It's basically just the site's data wasn't getting copied over to the display data properly. So it compiles, it runs, we can log in, go to the atlas, there we go, cool, no sites found, and then if we go to the void's maw, ooh, I don't know if we want the sites to show up in the yeah, we don't want them to show up there. If selected system empty, if selected system if selected system connections empty. Oh, no, we can just not add it into the... Yeah, we just don't add it into... Okay, I see. So... we don't add it into this, like I did there. That's the only difference, and it won't show up in there. So now it should show in the void's maw a site named test. Very cool. Alright. So, next up, we have to make it so that we can actually go to that site. Obviously, jump test isn't going to work. So I don't know if we want to use jump or if we should use jump for things that show up in the atlas. Now also, we'll want to have a way to actually show this information here. The information that's in the site for test, because it does have... You know, I think I know how we can do that. I have a good idea. So if I instead here on sites, we want to do the button, and then we're going to do I am GUI same line. We're going to push the description font. We will do a text box. Yeah, that works. We'll do a test box, or a text box with right, no, because we're not. Right, we're not passing the site. Are we? Can we? No, we're not. We absolutely aren't, because it's going to be under send message to player, map data, description, sites. So this would only be passing the yeah, this is only passing the name of the site. So I would need to probably in here. Yeah, we're gonna want to add a new area name, or a new struct called site information, and we'll do a string site name of, we'll do a string of description. We'll wait to add anything else. We'll do that. We'll do AR and site name, AR and description. So I think what we'll do with this is we'll have the user request site details on demand. So when they press no, that won't work. Well, I mean it will work, but I don't think that's a good way to go about it. The hell is map data payload? Here we go. So the system information contains that. That's a linker to that. what would be a good way to do this? Because what we need to do is we need to... So when they join, they'll get the system information, and then perhaps send them the actual information for the sites near them. Yeah, because this just gets... this. Okay, let's go look at the login process. So, what happens is they'll get the lobby state. I don't think we actually need to send that. We'll leave it though for now. We get the lobby state, we get the connection map sent. So you know, I think we'll do the on-demand method, which is going to require a new network message type. C2S request info equals 103, and then S2C return info struct info response, I guess? Info request response? Yeah, that works. Info request response, and then struct info request. So we're gonna use a string with a name type description, and then the request will just have a name. So client to server, client is requested information on object with name. Friend class boost serialization access template class archive void serialize archive and AR const unsigned int version Okay. And then here, name, type, description. Alright. So, we have info request response and info request. This is server to client. Server is responding to client information request. So, we now want how do we want to handle this? I think that the way to handle it will be no, I don't think this is the way to go about it, actually. So, server to client return info. I think we'll do So the issue is I need to pass the system information is sent at login, contains names of sites. The site information should not be sent at login. Contains descriptions of sites. Contains names or contains description of system. That contains description of site. So all systems sent at login. Okay, I know how we're gonna do it. So, we're going to have we're gonna get rid of this. This isn't gonna happen. We're not gonna do it that way. What we'll do instead is shit, I don't know how to go about this now that I'm thinking about it. Hmm. I think we'll do a site database. On the game side of it. So we'll do S2C site data. Site data payload. So the idea being we're just gonna send the site data at the start. Actually, we can probably expand. We can expand systems information to include the. Yeah, we don't even need to do that. We can expand systems information, lobby types, system information, connections. This becomes struct. Site information site. And then instead of putting this we do that. Let's see if that I think logically what is happening here? There we go. That logically should work. Just make sure that it. Oh, no, because that was a. So, map data payload. Just want to make sure. Map data payload now instead of systems information. So we can get rid of this. And I want to find sites, current system pushback sites. Sites table, soul table, sites table, site KVP. Okay. So this bit here, this would so sites dot pushback site kvp second as string site key value pair second so we're dealing with a nested list though. This is where the AI studio really helps. No, this isn't an advertisement. Do that, and then we do this, and then we do this, and then we say, can you adapt the C++ logic to handle the new structure. So we ask it, I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. So I passed the code over to the AI studio, said, can you adjust the C++ logic to the new structure? And what we're looking for is this one here. So check for create site. Site description activities. Oh, it went ahead and added its own bullshit into. Oh no, never mind. I actually did have activities there. So anyway, system object tables, sites. Yes, here we go. Okay, so this is the entire thing that I need. We'll take this. We'll come into here. Do this, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And you see, just like that, we now have that. It's awesome, isn't it? And then in our site information, okay, site, new site description, new site dot, how did I get the name before? Right. So, if sites table opt, if site kvp is sole table, site, new site, Uh, Soul neighbors table. Okay. So we want core site information. New site dot name equals. Just gonna do that for now. New site dot activities. We need to add activities. Actually, that needs to be a std vector of activities. And then that is an AR and activities. New site name, activities, blah 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 blah. Cool, cool. Okay, so something went wrong right here. Site information has no member name. And that would be because it doesn't have a member named name. So we do instead new site dot site name. And I'm gonna check something really quick. Right here. Site information. Cool, my sound is still good. Good to know. Does this count in me as my viewer, or do I actually have a viewer? It didn't work for some reason. That's why I stopped it, by the way. So it loads. I can log in. I can open the atlas. I can click around in it. But when I go to the Void's Maw, there's no site here. So it'll say no sites found if system data site's empty. So that means that here, current system sites pushback new site. Something in here is going wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to first take a look at the logs and see if they say anything. They don't really. They do say that the boost payload size is 2190, whereas in the past I believe that size was 2185. So we are now sending a little bit of extra data, it looks like. Nope, 2197, 2197. 2197, so hard to tell. So what we're going to try to do now then, let's see, we've got it pushing, we've got this. I want to add something here. Which says S2C map data error malformed fork that if sites table opt no malformed site data but this doesn't actually go here, it goes here. We're going to rebuild it and then we will see from there. So it's built. Oh, wait. Dirt. So we're looking for. We get. Oh yeah, no, I do have to log in. Here we go. I mean, it doesn't say anything about So let's now try. Well, okay. This leads me to believe that let's see here. So, if system data, right, right, ah, okay, yes, okay. So, UI manager, system display data, core site information, sites. I think that should work. And it's another instance of, yeah, cool, here we go. Site information has no member, see string. Cool, 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 cool. That worked. Site name. We'll do actually just site. And then site dot site name. And then site dot site or site dot description. Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Cool, cool. Have to convert it to an array of characters instead of a string, but that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that as far as I'm aware. Still didn't work. We're gonna give it a rebuild. Good ol' make clean make J6 this time. See if it can go a little bit faster. We'll do another bit of little bit of debuggery here, where we do std cr dot site that's going to go away as soon as we possibly can. Ah. Interesting. Alright, let's go look at the... So... System object table sites. If sites table opt, site KVP, no. Okay. So... Network map data payload. System information. Site information. Site name, description, activities. S2C map data. Current system. System object table. What happens if we put that there? Ah! That changed things. So info atlas voids maw crash. Cool. Okay. Cannot have empty ID at the root of a window. If you need an empty label, do that. There we go. Okay. Same crash. So we're gonna go to UI Manager. Push ID, site name, CStir. Right, okay. So we need the site object name, site name, get or std string, anomaly. Do 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 do.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight,
Alrighty.
chemicals collide.
Here's the big moment.
Hold tight, dripping lights paint the sky.
Hey, it crashed. Missing pop font. Nice. It's always good when it crashes in a different way. Here we go. Push font. Pop font. There we go. Heck yes. Very good, very good, very good. No sites found and a test site. Good deal. Very, very, very good. At least in my opinion. So, next, let's see if we can do button disabled. I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Let's see about I am GUI label rendering. I am GUI text. Yeah, I guess just I am GUI text. My label, input text, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, I guess just instead of that we can do I am GUI text and just do the site name in a larger font, maybe? see how that looks. Ah. Calling pop ID too many times. Ah, because we did the we removed the push ID. I guess that does need to be there at the end of the day. If you call pop ID, we'll put that back for now. Eh. Let's do I am GUI push font subtitle. Perhaps. Yeah, we can do subtitle. And then here, do this. That should be fine. Yeah, cool. I like that. Yeah, no, that works fine. I like it. Very cool. Oh. Well, I'm getting very tired. This is the longest I've streamed to absolutely nobody. So I think that what I'll do is I'm going to say how this will progress next. We'll have to make this obviously a bit cleaner in here in the Lua side of things. And then, when we get to it, there is... In the character database, there's a proximity flag as well as a system flag. So the system flag is the system that the character is in, and then the proximity flag will be the site that they're at. And so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have to update their proximity when they move to a site. And then how that's going to work is in this on generic player command, we're going to create a new branch where it's if they're using the if they say warp instead of jump, then it will go through the list of sites in the system that they're at, and then move them there and update the proximity. So one thing too, when the player disconnects, their state gets pushed to the database. That database exists. That database is this file here, the seed.db file. It's just a little SQLite file. Nothing fancy going on there. God, I'm tired all of a sudden. Yeah, alright, well, I have to get going. If anybody ever watches this tweet, thank you for watching to the very end. Otherwise, this was just a huge waste of time, but it's good mental fortitude. See ya.